There we go. Oh, damn it. There we go. Hello folks. You catch me just in time to join me for an operation. We'll do it on the stuffed dog because I don't want anybody calling the SSPCA again. Okay, now I've got one of my smaller needles here because this is just a tiny sensitive operation, and we've got a little bit of stuffing coming out of Fido. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to sew up his butthole because he's coming apart. It's coming apart at the rear. Okay, yeah. I'd never believed that this would be my job a year ago today. God, sewing up doggies' buttholes. There we go. I'll just pop that there for now. Okay. Welcome, folks. Today the doctor is in the house. That's me, Dirk Bogarde. Yes, suave and sophisticated 1950s doctor. I was hoping to have Sir James Robertson Justice on the show today, but he's let me down. He's let me down very, very, very badly, Peter Brady. You could have been a brilliant dwarf, James Robertson Justice. He's even got the tweed suit, but no, he's got other things to do. He's got other fish to fry today. Can't appear on a worldwide famous show like this, so, well, his loss. Anyway, I'd like to introduce you to a wonderful new prop gadget. I hope you like this hairstyle, by the way. It's a new one. But also, oops, it's running a little bit. I've got the Rudolph Giuliani's, a bit of the Rudolph Giuliani's there. Oh dear, that's terrible. What I was going to say, what I was going to do was extol the virtues of this amazing hairspray. It's dark, what do you call it, colour, black colour. So instead of the boot polish, I thought I was being really clever by spraying that on, but I sprayed a little bit too much, and yeah, I'm getting the old Rudolph Giuliani there dripping down. Anyway, that's for the old sideburns, my real sideburns, which were looking a bit grey with all this wonderful rejuvenating black hair from the wig. So all I need now is to find spray hair. Find spray hair will be sorted. I can just go and mould it into any style I want. I don't know if anybody's invented that yet though. Okay, so here we are on the show. All things medical. And we're going to start off with, well, I didn't even pick any tunes to do with doctors, never mind. I tell you what, I can do a tune by a doctor later. I just thought of that. Chloe's Passion by Dr Angus MacDonald, English Piper. I'll do that. Oh, why don't I just start with that? Since I don't really have any other plans anyway. As you can see, the doggie's just getting comfortable for the show, assuming the normal position. Oh, so tiring, but I'll be over in 45 minutes. Do dogs have any sense of time? I don't know. Timing. Have I got any sense of timing? Oh, eventually got that third part right. Yeah, I hadn't played that for a while. I wasn't planning to play it, so I'd not even had a run through. And I think if I get the third part right, the C part, as we call it in the business, in the medical business, it needs a little bit of operating on, but I got it there, got there in the end. So anyway, I wasn't planning playing that. That was by Dr. Angus MacDonald, one of the famous McDonald's piping brothers, Ian, Angus, and Alan. All of which I'm privileged to know. Actually, no, I've never met Dr. Angus, but he's a real doctor, not a pretend doctor like all these academic doctors. No, he's a real finger up the bum doctor. Well, I don't know if he does that, I presume so. Yes, as a child, the local doctor in the village, the only person so far to have had his finger up my bum, wasn't pleasant. Now, where were we? Oh yes, I was going to tell you about a slight accident I had. I'm actually coincidentally playing with a plaster in the finger, which might explain this week's mistakes. Every week he's got another excuse, doesn't he? Yes, no, I was actually doing some slab work, and I dropped a heavy slab onto my finger, and I knew it was a bad one by the instant pain, but when I lifted the finger out of the building glove to look, the blood had spurted out for all sides of the nail. That was worse than I thought. So yes, it's a little bit black and horrible just now, but the reason I've got plaster on it is because the plaster's not going to do much help for it, but it's all swollen up as well and blue and black, but every time I touched anything it would start bleeding again, so I didn't want to get blood all over the accordion while I was playing, which has happened before for live gigs, very embarrassing, and have anybody faint out there in Facebook world. So I'm just thinking of you guys, so I'm afraid there's going to be one or two extra mistakes today because of the plaster in the finger, but it's all for you, it's all for you. I'm thinking of you. Doctors always think of the patients, yeah, and believe me, you're very patient if you're watching this show. Okay, we've got Lola here. If you've never watched the show before, I don't know if we ever get new watchers, do we? But just in case you're a new viewer, we have Lola, the dog, who's the doggy from upstairs. She's not my dog, she's not a real pet. Well, she is, she's somebody else's pet. I don't have to feed her. What I do though, what I get to do is feed her treats. Now these treats are from wonderful show fan Davy English. Davy writes poems about my shows, and he gave me these little treats to give to Lola with a little package. Ugh. Some sticky stuff in her eye. Ugh. The doctor should be used to that. Yeah, tastes horrible as well. Anyway, here's a little gift from Davy's Lola. I'm going to read out one of Davy's poems in just a second. Actually, a new one that came in the post. It's very quaintly old-fashioned. You could message or email me them, but he just sends me them on real paper typed out, in the typewriter probably, in the post. It's wonderful to get something through the post, isn't it? So this is Lola. This is, well, it's Fido normally, but Pugsie today because I've got one eye bandaged up, and everything today is going to the very honourable, deserving cause of musicians in need. Yes, so if you're feeling generous, you know where the PayPal button is, and believe me, I need more costumes. Okay, this is the poem that arrived in the post this week from Davy English, the sender not only of poems but doggy tweets. Wonderful chap, and it's called The Entertainer. I'm not sure I like the first verse. It goes, Sandy's skill set ranges on a scale from mediocre to low. There's nothing about acting that he knows. Shouldn't that be, there's nothing he doesn't know? Anyway, without his co-stars he would be absolutely lost, outperformed by a dog that doesn't move and one that gets eaten by moths. Speaking of which, that fly's back. I told you last week about plague of flies, these little fruit flies. I thought I got rid of them all, but brilliant bit of advice from Linda Campbell was to set up a little cup of cider vinegar with cling film on the top, pierce it with a fork, and I don't know how they managed to get in there and then can't find the way out. Maybe they get drunk on the cider, but they did kill about 50 of them. But I just poured it down the sink today going, job done, after a week. And another two have just appeared as I start the show. I might be hiding in the accordion bellows. Anyway, sorry Davey, interrupted your fine poem there. Verse 2. What viewers at home don't maybe realise is a sacrifice is made as he appears in front of their eyes. often found in dresses, bra, wigs and lipstick. Well, only sometimes a dress up as a woman. He rushes to change out of them to present a show of humour, fun and slapstick. As the curtain goes up and the lights dim, people question, is it really him? A man of many parts, and not all of them working. What? Throwing his heart and soul into it, never shirking. And to stop the audience from getting bored, he'll strap on the box and hit the keyboard, and from out of every corner in the room, if he gets it right, you'll hear a tune. Okay, fair point. But sometimes the memory of what he wants to play no longer lingers, and as his mind wanders, oh God, I've lost it. So does his fingers, yes. Very good. Bum notes are hit and tunes played different to what was named, but the show must go on, and this lad can't be shamed. No, you're absolutely right about that. I can't be shamed. And there's one thing that will leave your ears still really ringing, when he bursts into song and starts singing. And there's no use moaning, complaining or griping, because worse will come if he starts the piping. Wardrobe, lighting and directing, so many tasks to do, and often things come unstuck, courtesy of Yoo-Hoo. That's the official show-sponsored glue. With no one there to lend a hand, he's a true performer, a genuine one-man band. Oh, thank you, David. Yes, a real entertainer, and here's the sting. He does all this for free and doesn't want a thing. And as he goes about his charity shopping, I can hear the ivories being tinkled by the great Scott Joplin. Now, it's not entirely true that it doesn't want a thing. If you're feeling generous, you can click the little PayPal button there. Okay, mostly it's for free. And as Sandy strives to help make people's lives that wee bit merrier, I see a nod of smiling approval from the late Sir Laurence Olivier. Olivier. If I said it like that, it would rhyme, wouldn't it? And hear a thunderous roar of applause from Richardson and Gielgud at the antics of our Sandy as he tries to make people feel good. Ah, that's lovely. Thank you, Davey English. Gielgud and feel good. Yes, it's the Gielgud feel good factor here on the Sandy and Sunday show, Quarantine Gigs, every Sunday at 2 p.m. I know that we're out of restrictions here, but we're probably going to go back into them pretty soon the way the virus is rising. So I'm just keeping the show going because I'm enjoying it, and also because it'll probably be the only show I have in a couple of weeks from now. But we have been doing some gigs recently, me and the dogs. Fantastic. Only thing was we were supposed to be doing the first Ceilidh, my first Ceilidh, not the first Ceilidh, but my first Ceilidh of a year and a half with the Portobello Ceilidh band on Thursday night. It was almost pulled a couple of days before because they were a bit worried about the virus, and then they decided to go ahead with it, and then they pulled it at the last minute on the very day just after I packed the heavy PA into the car. Anyway, the PA is still in the car because I'm still a little bit lazy about getting out. That's 3 days later. I will unpack it today. Anyway, it was very sad, and it was just a shame that it didn't go ahead. I was really looking forward to it, as with the rest of the band, playing for real life dancing. Can it be any more dangerous than nightclubbing, can it? Anyway, maybe next week, another Ceilidh coming up. I'll let you know if it goes ahead. Right, time for more tunes now. Today, believe it or not, is famous accordion player and a great inspiration to me, Blair Douglas from the Isle of Skye. It's Blair's birthday, and I'd like to play a couple of tunes that he wrote in honour of the great man. It's the first one's called the Skye Glen Waltz, beautiful waltz that I play with Ewan Wilkinson, and the second one is a fabulous tune, one of the best tunes I think Blair's written. He's written lots of great tunes, called Nelson Mandela's Welcome to the City of Glasgow. And it was actually played when Nelson Mandela came to visit the city of Glasgow. Absolutely brilliant tune. Here we go, Skye Glen Waltz and Nelson Mandela's. Great tunes. That was a couple of Blair Douglas tunes in honour of the great man's birthday, Blair Douglas, famous accordion player from the Isle of Skye. Speaking of which, there's famous accordion player Jimmy Shand in a photo I took from Auchtermuchty the other week. So I thought I'd put it up there with lovely Toki, retired in America, ex-co-host of the show. Very much more active than this little doggy, but still, all doggies are good. Both my sisters have got doggies now in the last few weeks under incredible pressure from their children. Yes, we want a doggy, mummy. It's only 17 billion pounds for one. Anyway, they both managed to persuade their mummies to get them doggies, and I've got the sensible way to do it. Just borrow your neighbour's dog. No feeding, no walking, no pooper scooping. No, nice and easy. Just give them a few treats on the show. You get all the benefits of a doggy without any of the bad smells. Hopefully, not today. Yeah, sometimes Lola's been a little bit smelly in past shows. But luckily, you can't get that through. They haven't done the technology yet to get the smell of the show. It's a lucky thing for you, I can tell you, because when she lips rip, she may be a tiny doggy, but she is a big presence. Oh yeah. Now it would be terribly remiss of me to do a show all about doctors without doing the famous song by Doctor and the Medics. I think you know what's coming up. Yes, it's Spirit in the Sky. Spirit in the Sky coming right up. Now I don't have electric guitar, but I do have an accordion, which is almost as good. In fact, it's better because as I've mentioned before on the show, the electric guitar was the downfall of the accordion in early 1920s America, apparently, where the accordion was the biggest instrument for decades. It was ruling the planet, and then the electric guitar came along, and suddenly nobody wanted to play the accordion anymore. Well, it's time for payback, yeah, because the accordion's going to start with the guitar riff from Spirit in the Sky. This is the Dr. and the Medics version. When I die, lay me to rest, gonna go to the place that is best. When I lay me down to die, I'm going on up to the Spirit in the Sky, going on up to the Spirit in the Sky. That's where I'm going when I die. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm going to the place that's the best. Who needs an electric guitar? Prepare yourself, you know that it's a must. Gotta have a friend in Jesus. So you know that when you die, He's gonna recommend you to the Spirit in the Sky. He'll recommend you to the Spirit in the Sky. That's where you're gonna go when you die. When you die and they lay you to rest, you're gonna go to the place that's the best. Never been a sinner, I never sinned. I got a friend in Jesus. So you know that when I die, He's gonna set me up with the Spirit in the Sky. Set me up with the Spirit in the Sky. Spirit in the Sky! That's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die! When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's best. I'm gonna go to the place that's the best. Gonna go to the place that's the best. Faith and faith. Gonna go to the place that's the best. Gonna go to the place that's the best. Gonna go to the place that's the best. Gonna go to the place. Yeah, it's very hard to do a fade out when you're not in the studio, but I thought I did a pretty good job of that there. If not the song itself. Anyway, needs must. Don't have any singers available. Have to do everything myself on this show. At least I don't have a moustache to have to try and stick on today. Thank God Dr Simon Sparrow didn't wear a moustache, otherwise I'd be dripping glue, Yoo-hoo glue, same as usual. Yes, sometimes I need a week off the moustaches. Well, I do love them. I do love the moustaches. Okay. Now, here is a beautiful tune that somebody has requested me to play. Yes, I can't believe it, a request. I've been waiting for months for a request. This is a tune by somebody that I know very well, although I haven't seen for ages. This is by the wonderful Hilary Kerr, who is an accordion player here in Edinburgh. Until recently, she was a midwife. How many new babies she's caught and passed into the incubator, I can't imagine. Millions, thousands before she retired. Anyway, she retired recently. Hope she's enjoying her retirement, getting more time to play accordion. Very sadly, her brother died quite suddenly a few months ago, and she wrote a beautiful tune for him called Firish, which is named for the sort of monument up on the hill above Galspeak, which I've actually climbed the top of, despite the fact that there's nothing to actually climb up on it. Very dangerous when I was a silly 20-something-year-old. Don't try that at home, kids. Anyway, it's a beautiful monument. You can see it looks like a sort of joined sequence of arches. You can see it from all around in Sutherland up there. And I think it was a favourite spot of her brother. And recently, when I was up in Inverness playing under canvas in the grounds of Eden Court Theatre a couple of weeks ago, I actually met Hilary's sister-in-law, her brother's wife, who was telling me about the tune. I'd already heard about the tune, and she would ask me if I could play it one. So this is especially for all of you, and it's called Firish. Lovely tune, Hilary, Firish. That was very nice, and just about learnt that, so hope we'll be able to play it live as well. Now, what's next? We've got an exciting set of reels now, because Oh, we haven't done any reels yet today. No, I don't think we have. Okay, here we go. How does it start? Not bad. I just give myself a quick injection. That's better. It's much quicker than trying to drink the alcohol. Just go straight in. We've only got 10 minutes left. You'll be very happy to know. And oh look, the dog's woken up. She knows she can tell it's almost the end of the show. And what we've got here are some other exciting snacks. These are Earl's meaty strips. Oh yeah. Oh, smells very meaty. And oh, she's up and ready to go at them. Oh yeah. There we go. Live meaty strip munching. Live on the show. You don't get that anywhere else, folks. No. Okie dokie. It's a set of jigs, actually. It's the jigs I was going to play with James Robertson Justice. He never turned up at my window. Let me down again. So, here's the set of tunes. This is the set of tunes that Peter Brady actually put together in the last 2 years in lockdown. Amazingly, finally got around to putting together a set, and it's quite good. It starts with a tune called Hooper's Trip to Venus, which is written by good friend Pete Clark, who often gets mentioned on the show. And he's got a whole book of tunes out, by the way, called Dunkeld Bridge, I think is the name of the volume. If you want to purchase that, you'll find it online. It's full of great tunes like this one. And that's followed by Da Old Hoos, which is a traditional tune. And the last one is called Dun Ibrick, I think. Great reset tunes. I've got a feeling I might have played that already on this show. Can't remember. Anyway, nobody ever watches 2 shows in a row, I would imagine. Now, getting some messages coming in there. And, oh, it's Kat Mapleston, my excellent part-time pupil. I forgot to say it's Kat that actually gave me the music for Virus. Kat said, loved Virus, Sandy. Thank you, Kat. Very nice of you to say. And thank you for giving me the music, which reminded me to play it. There we go. It's great when your pupils keep you on top of the ball. It's like, I promised I would learn that tune and play it, and then I've forgotten about it a couple of weeks ago, and then I've forgotten about it until by chance. It was fate, actually. Kat gave me it last week, so yes, it was meant to be. Lovely tune. Now, it's Sunday, which means since for the last 3 weeks that the Ensign Ewart session is back on again. This is the session I've been playing in Edinburgh for the last 25 years, albeit with a 1.5 year gap for a small viral pandemic that hit the world. And like everything else, came to a halt, but it started up again. Wonderful. And normally I'm there from 9 o'clock tonight until midnight, but just while we get things going, hopefully it'll keep going, but God knows what's going to happen the next week or two. I just mean with the virus, the rates are going sky high in Scotland. If you're watching from somewhere else in the world. At the minute it's just for a couple of hours, 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock, and it's seated room only. Normally they cram them in the old days, or they used to, because of such a popular accordion player playing there. You see, people used to come from all over to see them. And so if you do fancy coming up to, I would suggest you phone the Ensign Ewart pub and book, because lots of people get turned away every week at the minute, because it's only, if all the seats are gone, you can't get in. But it's happening 9 to 11 if you do fancy it. Just phone up and see if you can get space. And the set leads me nicely onto the last set, which is another set of jigs, but this is a set from the Ensign Ewart album that me and my chums that play up there regularly made about 10 years ago now. And we launched it in the Ensign Ewart. It was a brilliant night. And this is a set of tunes called the Live set, which we recorded live at the Ensign. All the rest of the album was recorded in the studio. It was all sets we used to play. But the one set at the very end was the live set, barely a live set. And it starts with a wonderful tune called The Road to Banff. Road to Banff. Banff, yeah. It's like Belgium and Belgian. You always get confused between the M and the N. Road to Banff, not Banff. Banff. I can't remember. Is it Banff? B-A-N-F-F? Yes, it is Banff, up in Aberdeenshire. So Malcolm Revel lives up there, whistle player. and it's the road that goes past his house. Road to Banff, lovely tune. That's followed by Leaving Loch Boysdale, which should be a slow air, but I kind of jazzed it up into a jig. And the last tune I wrote myself is called The Imperial Eagle, and that's the name of the French battle standard that was captured by the famous ensign Ewart. Ensign's a rank in the British Army. Ensign Charles Ewart was promoted to, well, he's promoted to the rank of ensign after he captured the French standard in the Battle of Waterloo. So this is all for all you Frenchies out there. It's our last set today, and I've only got 1 minute to play it, so I'm going to have to play the tunes twice as fast. Nice little set of tunes to end on that. At the end of that set, on the very end of the album, the bell rings. Brian McCann, the landlord, rung the bell and went, "Last orders, please." And I see Sheila Shammers there. I said, "Last orders at the bar, please." And yes, sadly Brian died earlier this year. I watched his funeral on a webinar because that was the only way we could do it at that time. And it was very nice to well, it wasn't nice to see him go. It was a very nice ceremony. But even though he was getting cremated, he strangely chose the track Chariots of Fire, which I thought was a little bit unusual of a track to get loaded into the big oven. But anyway, he always had a cheeky sense of humour. So farewell, Brian. And farewell to you folks. That's a show over for another day. You'll be delighted to know. With my hyperactive doggy, I'll be back next week. And with this one as well, who'll be recovering from having a large needle in his head. So if you've got a large needle in your head out there, I would, oh, I can actually stick that in there. I would go and see a doctor. Goodbye. Woo, guys, that was a hell of a show. We just put that together at the last minute. Went well. Would you like a little drink of water? No? Would you like a drink of water? Okay, it's vaccination time, guys. Yep, everybody's got to get the vaccine now because we've got to get the herd immunity up and or the immunity level up. So who's first? Who wants the injection first? Okay, we're going to go for this guy. Oh, you naughty doggy! What is this? What is this? Did you get scared? Did you get scared by the big needle? Oh, stinky, stinky. Here, bad doggy, bad doggy. I didn't know you could still do that. I thought I'd sewn that up. Oh my god, I thought I'd switched that off.